Deepwoken doesn't tell you anything. You spawn in, you die, you try again and die faster. You think, what am I doing wrong? But it's not you, it's the game. No one warns you how brutal this is. So let's fix that. The next thing that I'm going to talk about and cover is common mistakes. Most new players constantly make these same painful mistakes that are hindering their progress of getting better. This can include fighting too many enemies at once. If you are getting attacked by multiple enemies, there's a high chance that you're going to lose because some enemies don't care if you're already getting attacked. They will just attack you from wherever they can. Next is skipping training items. Training items is super important in Deepwoken because this will lead you to leveling up. If you don't use your training items, you will not level up, meaning you will stay weak and won't get better. Third is random stats with no build plan. I made this mistake myself. For the longest time, I would constantly just level up all stats evenly, and that is really bad. If you follow my recommended build, it will cause you to get better faster, have more HP, deal more damage, and have better stats in general. Number 4, equipping cool looking gear with no synergy, otherwise known as equipping gear just because it looks cool. If you do that, then there is a high chance that you will perform worse, because if you equip gear because it's good, you will have more HP, more ether, you will have more resistances, and it even might look cool. You're not bad, you're just uninformed, and that's what we're fixing. Now, I bet many of you guys have already been through Deepwoken's character creation, but I'm just going to go through it one time just to make sure you understand what everything is. Your aspect is basically your race. It doesn't really matter, but each race has a different unique ability. Next is your origin. The only origin you have to worry about is Castaway and Lone Warrior. Castaway, I would recommend and pick Etris because I have a route that you should follow as a beginner before you start to get the bearings of the game and follow your own route. These other ones, search up a video on how to get, and you have to do a quest in order to get each one of those. Next is your names. For your names, there are a random name that you can do or you can pick through a large amount. These names are the same for every single aspect, but the last names change for each aspect you have. Next is your appearance. This is where you can change your body type, your face, your aspect features, and your hair. Next is starting weapon. I recommend picking the battle axe, but the only weapons you will see are stiletto, sword, and battle axe. These other ones I will explain how to get later on. Next is the attributes. The attributes are where you have your starting points as. Now you will have I think a total of 15 points already put in, and you can just leave them there. I will tell you what's the best build you should go, and in Deepwoken, your build is basically your unique level 20 character. Each build is different, and if that wasn't specific enough, a build is basically what stats you go and what attunement you go to get the end product you want. I'll explain more of that later in the video. Next is your attunement. In order to get all these attunements, you have to do a quest for each one of them. I believe you will have none, random, and then your attunement that you randomly got. In my opinion, you should go Flame Charm if you have it. If you don't have Flame Charm, then pick the one you have, because I'll have a build that's super easy to go and follow for you. in order to make getting better at the game easier. Next is boons and flaws. Basically, a boon is an advantage you have, and a flaw is a disadvantage you have. My recommendation is for boons, pick autodidact and survivalist. Autodidact is whenever you level up, you have 3 free attribute points to put wherever you want. Survivalist is where there's environmental effects in this game, but they do not affect you, which I think are pretty annoying, but survivalist kind of negates them. Next is your flaws. Your flaws, I recommend doing simple, just because if you pick simple, the flaws will not affect you at level 20. All simple does is make your XP gain lower. Next is echo modifiers. Do not worry about what this is, but modifiers basically are, you can enable a modifier and it basically makes your game harder. You can read through these if you want, but what the echoes multiplier means is whenever you wipe a character or lose it forever, you talk to somebody in what's called the fragments of self, which is where when you die in the depths, that's where you spawn. You talk to your basically your twin, and once you finish your dialogue, your character disappears. Your screen turns black and like a little graph appears, and it shows how many echo tasks you have done. I will explain more of what echo tasks are later in the video, so make sure to keep watching. But basically what it does is after all your echo tasks have added up, it multiplies your echo multiplier times how many echoes you got, and then that's your total. The more you have, the more echo modifiers you enable, the higher echoes you have. But I recommend just leave them as they are. Next is Echo Shop. For the more echoes you have, you can buy things to help your whole account's characters. Now, this can be your resonance progress, otherwise known as your bell, which I'll get later to in the video, which you don't have to worry about. Once you have a certain amount of echoes, I recommend doing starting notes, max it out, you know it's maxed out with a star, and do pass down capacity, which is basically when you're in the fragments of self, you have the ability to pass down an item to your next character, which I think is pretty cool. And then just any ones you think are cool. Next are Echo Unlocks, which you basically get from doing these upgrades. Next is Echo Talents, and these are talents you get from doing quests, which I will do another video on how to get these. After you have done your character to what you want, you click Finalize Character. Now, once you have spawned in at Etris, you will spawn in an inn. You just want to make your way to the bottom floor. Now, before we get started on anything, I wanted to teach you the main core mechanics that Deepwoken has. First off, being an attack. You just left click, nice and easy. If you keep on clicking, you will do a kick, which is called a flourish. This is to stop infinite combos, and it basically just kicks the opponent away. Next is your critical. You click R or the middle mouse button. This is a block, most likely a block breaking attack, and this is mainly used for PvP. Next is a feint. If you left click and right click right after, you swing, but then don't follow through with it. This is to bait out parries, which is by clicking F right before an attack hits you. It's more complicated than that, but it is a very important mechanic. So, and then if you click and hold F, that is blocking. Now blocking, if you get hit while you're blocking, it will take up posture. The more posture you have, the worse it is. So once your posture overflows, you get block broken, which basically means you are now stunned and take extra damage. That's your posture bar. Health bar, it's your health. Goes down for every attack you get hit by. Next is your armor. This is our armor durability, and the more you get hit, the less durability your armor has. Next is your ether or your mana. This is for your mantras. Your mantras you will not see yet since you have not leveled up. You get mantras every 2 or 3 level ups, if I'm not mistaken. Next is your tempo. If you're in combat, you start out with a certain amount of tempo, and if you click G while in combat and you have above a certain amount of tempo, you'll do what's called a vent, which I will show you later in the video. Next are these cooldown bars or orbs. This is the dodge. It'll turn dark once you have done a dodge, which is by clicking Q. Right now it is bugged, so it'll just stay dark. Next is your parry. If you click F, you can't parry after a certain amount of time. Next is block. If you click and hold block, right now it's bugged, so nothing will happen. Next is feint. Once you feint, that will go dark, and you should see a little cooldown bar go down. That's what that is. On the right, this is the player leaderboard, basically. It only shows the player name and what guild they're in. Right now, you're not in a guild, so you'll be at the bottom like this with no extra name on the bottom. If you hover over a player's name, you'll see their Roblox name tag. On the bottom, there are 2 different symbols. The top one being knowledge, and the bottom one being notes. Notes is the currency in Deepwoken. The more notes you have, the better. Knowledge is what you can use to trade certain NPCs to get different items or get access to certain things. On the left, you have your blood bar, your water, and your hunger. If you read all of those, it'll tell you what they both do and how they're important. On the top, you have your name and your level. Your level is the same as your power. And I'll go more into this UI in a little bit. Next is what luminant you're in, which I'll explain more later. And then this is your server name and the location of the server. And if you hover over these bars, it'll tell you your ping. This is the server age. Okay. Next is help. If you're ever stuck, just click help and it'll tell you more about Deepwoken and tips for starting the game. Next is your encyclopedia. This has been newly added, but for every monster you defeat, there is an entry added into this. Now, basically what this means is if you defeat let's say a mud skipper, which is very easy to defeat, this entry will be added, and if you slay 10, you'll get extra 10% damage to them plus 5% resistance. Next is your glossary. This is basically vocab words, what they are. So first of all, the depths. This is what will tell you what the depths are. The divers, which is a faction in game, this will tell you what the divers are. There are books in the game, and the more books you read, the more this glossary will fill up. Next is your settings. Now these settings, this is what I recommend for settings. I recommend cooldown bars on, points of interest on, show buff pips, depending on how powerful your computer is, but I recommend it off, hide names off, stat bar behavior always, which basically always see the percentage, 3D icon behavior hover, and then the leave game prompt off. Then there's others that you can do. I recommend low graphics mode on. This is so that way it helps you react better and it will make your ping higher. Next is field of view. I recommend at least 80 so you can see more what's going on. Combat, you should do, normally these are all like, if you want to do hold to attack on, yeah, it's more for preference. For accessibility, do ping compensation on. No matter what ping you have, it'll always think you have bad ping, so it delays attacks, so that way you can react better. Next is photosensitive mode. I recommend it being on, so that way you'll be able to see through certain visual effects better. Next is your controls, and you change your controls or keybinds based on your own preference. Next is the return to menu. Return to menu, if you ever want to leave Deepwoken, click return to menu. If you leave through the Roblox leave game prompt, it will keep your character in game for a while longer, which is bad because if you get hit when your character is still lingering there and then you leave, if you leave while in combat, it will cause you to lose a life. I'll get more into the live section of the game in a little bit. So now that we have that all covered, you want to talk to this guy right here. Say, how can I earn some money? Would you be able to spare me some cash? And then end dialogue. This should give you 25 notes. The only reason I have 50 is because I have an Echo shop talent, basically, where I start off with extra notes. After you talk to him, you're gonna run out this door and just go straight up forward to the blacksmith. Once you get to the blacksmith, you want to take a left, run out this door, and talk to this NPC. Say, don't worry, I won't rat you out, and it will give you a discount on the items. After that, you want to end dialogue. You want to go to the cloth and buy the cloth. Only one. Once you buy it, you want to go to the smith and you say, can you work on something for me? Then you go to Traveler's Jacket and you craft it. And you could pick which color you want. I'm just going to stick with the white Traveler's Jacket. Next, you just run this way and just keep on following me. Make sure not to fall off these bridges because it will kill you from this height. Also, if you click shift, it'll do what's called a shift lock, which basically you can move your character without having to hold right click. Once you get to this tree, you want to talk to this guy and just spam 1 for the dialogue. After that, you will get a gold ring, and do not equip it yet because we are going to sell it. After you talk to him, come out this way and follow me. A good movement mechanic to do is if you're running and click control, you will slide. If you do control and space, you will do a further jump. And if you do control space jump, you will cover a lot of distance really quickly. If you are following where I was going, you'll come to the Antiquarian. The Antiquarian is basically where you sell stuff. So you're gonna talk to him. I'd like to sell something and sell this gold ring. You can tell how much something is worth by the little notes icon on the ring. So you want to sell this, and you got 14 notes. Once you do that, you want to buy your training items. You go to this cabinet and browse gear. Now, I will explain to you what each training item trains. Math textbook is intelligence. Ankle weights is agility. Prayer beads is willpower. Okay? Whatever it says under the name, that's what it trains. So just look through that. Now, what I recommend getting is you should get something for agility, fortitude, strength, and willpower. You already start off with something for your element, and you already start off something with your weapon stat. Now, what the stats that you should be going for the best beginner that I think is good for you would be going 15 strength, 75 fortitude, 40 agility, 50 willpower, 75 heavy weapons, and 75 flame charm. That's what I recommend. You can experiment or do whatever you want, but that's my recommendation. So the dumbbell, we already have trained strength. We already have a hearth gem, which trains flame charm, and we have the weapon manual, which trains our heavy weapons. Next, we should get ankle weights, and then we should get prayer beads. If you do not have enough notes, it is okay. We will get gear that we can just take to this antiquarian and sell it. After you sell your gear, I'm going to go over what all this UI is. On the left, you can craft things in this game. If you click recipes, it'll show you the recipes you have unlocked. To craft something, you just take the recipes requirements, put them in one of these slots, and click craft. Just dismiss this. Okay. Next is tools, or your inventory. Now, your inventory, depending on how many things you have, it'll show more than just tools and training gear. But this is your inventory, and this is where you can drag things out to your main bar. I recommend putting all your training gear here, so you just remember where to put it. All right. Next is this right here. This is your carrying capacity. The 2 is how much carrying capacity it's taking up, and the 108 is your max carrying capacity. You can go over this amount, but by only a certain amount. So if you have 128, that means you'll be slowed and you'll just do things slower. Next is the search. You can just search for items that you have. Down here is your hotbar. You can place items here to easily access. Now here, this is where it gets a little complicated. This is the equipment you have equipped. These are your stats, okay? So the stats I already went over. These are traits. I recommend going 6 vitality and 6 proficiency. Once you level up, every once in a while when you level up, you will get a trait card and pick 6 vitality first and then 6 proficiency. This is your power or your level. Each of these bars basically means how many stats you have until you level up. So once you invest 15 stat points, you level up, which increases your power and your level. Your power is the exact same thing as your level, if you didn't know. Down here is your points available. This basically means once you defeat a monster and get XP, it'll say you have 2 or 3 or even more points available. This means that you can invest 2 or 3 or however many points it says into a stat that you want. The plus 15 weighting means you need plus 15 stats in order to level up. This is your stats, okay? This is your health, your ether, your tempo, and your posture. Next is your resistances. Once you get this armor, you have 10 slash resistance and 10 blunt resistance, but 0 elemental resistance. The higher the health and the higher the resistances, the better. Now that's the UI out of the way. These are instruments. If you have extra notes, you can get them. They're just cool little things you can do. Next, you want to come out here and follow me. There might be bandits on this bridge, but just run past them or defeat them if you want. Next, you want to come down here and just follow me all the way to the docks. Once you have made it to the docks, go all the way down and talk to this guy. You want to click build new, go to dinghy, click build. It's free and you get Seafarer's Charm, which basically means you can spawn your boat wherever you want, basically. Next, you want to spawn your boat, find where it is, and get in the boat. Once you're in the boat, you click E to steer. Once you're there, you hold W and it makes the sail go down. You can, change the speed based on how much you want. D to go right, A to go left. And you can change your sail angle, C to go right, Z to go left. Once you go A or D, you'll see this bar, and if you let go, you'll keep on going in that direction. In order to center that direction, just click Q. Next, you want to get your sail as close as possible to where that wind is going, and these are sail highways, basically where you go a lot faster. Anyway, once you go out from the docks, you want to just take a right and come this way. Once you're here, just follow my path, and we will take you to where you go and level up. Now, once you get to this side of Lower Regia, or what it's called, you are going to want to level up here to get stronger. I will show you exactly how to do that and the best ways to do that. Make sure when you're running around and stuff that you will try to level up things as best you can. If you can't do anything, follow me. So once you get in here, you want to take a left, come out this way. You want to go in this cave, okay? Now, in the cave, you will find these monsters. They are very easy to defeat. If you do not see them, try checking up there. I could not get up there because my agility is low. But what you want to do is just attack them, okay? And you just keep on attacking them. If you get hit, you want to either try to parry them or block them. If you are just getting demolished by them, what you want to do is click G, which is basically which is basically what you call, actually I forgot what it's called, but I'll show you on screen by getting attacked by them. There's 3 right there. See, I'm getting attacked. Just click G, and it's called a vent. I remembered. It's called a vent. And that basically gets them off of you. And you just want to just keep on attacking them. Once you get them downed, carry 1 to make sure it does not get back up, and come back down. And just keep on attacking. Yep, just keep on attacking. Oh, I'm lagging right now. Okay, so once you have a bunch of them downed, just keep on attacking them to make sure that their get up cooldown is off. So whenever they're knocked, what happens is after a set amount of time of not being attacked, they get back up, which is bad. So in order to stop that, see that one just got back up? In order to stop that, just attack them after you execute one. Executing is otherwise known as gripping. So just do that. And then you should have got a good amount of XP. See? It says I have 11 points available. Now 12 points available. Which means I can level up something 12 times. I'm going to do my, let's see. I'm going to do agility. Just keep on doing agility. Oh, if I can't do agility anymore, I'll do my weapon manual. Yep, leveling up. Now, once you get your first level up, I bet it'll feel so good. Because I remember when I was a beginner, I did not level up at all. I maybe got to level 2, but that's it. and then I die. On my first 4 characters, I died before even leaving Etris. After that, let's see if I can do my attunement. No, I can't. Willpower, which is prayer beads. Nope. What am I missing? Dumbbell? No? What the? Well, anyway, let's just keep on going and leveling up. Next, what you want to do is, if you see one of these, you want to run away. These are a very difficult mob to defeat when you're a beginner. But I'll briefly explain how to defeat one now. Oh my gosh, I'm getting destroyed. So what you want to do is parry once it does the swipes, parry when it goes down, and dodge the kick. It's more complicated than that. It's more complicated than that, but they are I would say a mid-game mob to defeat if you're a beginner. So just keep on doing this. See, I defeated one. They may look strong, but they're not that strong. But just try to run away if you find one. Okay, so next area to level up is you just want to follow me. Oh look, 1 point. I'm going to do that into strength. See, I level up. So when you level up, you're given this orb and these numbers. This number means how many hands of talents you get. This number is how many mantras you get. Once you click there will be cards that come out. These cards are what make your build. Pick cards that seem good, okay? Since you're a beginner, experimenting is key. I am going to see which one is better. Let's see. When enemies initiate a fight with you, you gain a speed boost. I am going to go Scared Cat. Okay? I'm given one more. Blood Iron Spirit, breathing exercises. I'm going to go Blood Iron Spirit. Basically what the different colors mean. Mantras? Nice. I'm going to go Burning Servants. Now this is your mantra. And this is the stats I was talking about. Go Vitality. So, as I was saying, the different colors mean different things. White means they're common talents. Red means they are rare talents. If you see a blue one, that means they are advanced. And those are for talents. Next, you see our mantras, which are purple. And then the gold ones are your traits. Since you picked Autodidact, when you level up, you're getting 3 free points to invest, which you have to invest at a campfire. I'm going to put them into... that's lagged out. I'm going to put them into my heavy weapons. Alright, now that I have my mantra, I can now level up. So anyway, make sure you're following this path. Follow this path, and you'll get to Bandit Camp, okay? These are humanoid NPCs, like the other ones that you fought. Looks like somebody else already defeated them. They are difficult to defeat because they can parry. Okay, so if you don't feel like you can parry that well enough, either keep on doing those mudscapers or follow me, and there is a free method to level up. And it's actually pretty easy once you get to know to do it. So after this, you just want to follow me. I will have this sped up, so make sure to pay attention. You see this green rain? This is an environmental effect called acid rain. If you pick the survivalist boon, it will not affect you. But if you did not pick the survivalist boon, that means that this will take your HP down. And it's actually really annoying. Anyway, once you made it here, you just want to make your way down and you'll make it to Burning Stone Gardens. This is where a lot of hard monsters spawn. If you ever see black feathers falling down from the sky, run away from them and don't touch them because an owl will spawn and it's really hard to defeat. Looks like a player is already here. And look, that is a monster. Now let me show you the cheese, as what I call it, of how to defeat one of these. So pop a mantra or just attack it and just run away. Just run away. Once you run away, you want to make it up here, over here, or not. Somebody's attacking. Nope. Alright, so now that you're here, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to attack, pop a mantra, and then just come and follow me. What you want to do is you're gonna want to lure it into the acid pit, and you're going to go under this tree. So what you're going to do is go in this acid pit, have it follow you. This may take a few tries, but once you got it down, it'll be very easy to defeat because all you have to do is just start attacking. Like so. I'm going to speed it up because it might take a while, but once you defeat it, you'll gain a lot of XP to level up. Now once you have defeated it, you can collect whatever it drops and just wait for it to spawn again by training your attributes. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the depths. The depths is where you lose your character forever. It's not fun at all. If you die with a stained health bar, you go there. It's dangerous but not hopeless. Monsters are stronger there and players are more aggressive. Some people even just kill you just for fun. But it's not hopeless. In the depths, there's an invisible stat called sanity. And you can't see it at all, but you start out with 80 sanity at level 1. To increase sanity, you either equip gear that says plus X amount of sanity, or you upgrade your willpower. If every 30 seconds you lose 1 point of sanity. At tier 1, you start shivering. At tier 2, you claw at your eyes, taking small damage. Shivering and clawing at your eyes both interrupt actions like blocking or swinging your weapon. At tier 3, you'd reach 0 sanity and your head pops off and you die. The reason that sanity is so important is because if you're in the depths, the more sanity you have, the longer you can last there. Of course, if you're not getting attacked by any monsters. If you have 80 sanity, when you go in the depths, you can only last around 40 minutes, which may seem like a lot, but it's actually not. There is a way to escape the depths. I will have a video in my channel, so make sure to check it out. If there is not a video there yet, I probably haven't made it yet, and I'm working on it. Most players quit Deepwoken because it feels unfair. But when you learn the systems, the mechanics, and all the ins and outs of the game, it becomes one of the most rewarding games you'll ever play. If this helped you, I've got more guides coming. Hit subscribe and let's get good together.